Hello and happy Boxing Day. I hope everyone has had a lovely Christmas. I certainly did. I ate far too much, but I think you're allowed to do that once a year, and Christmas Day is the day that I pig out on chocolates and cakes and all naughty things that you shouldn't really have, but it doesn't count because it's Christmas. But I have still managed to find some time to do some reading. So today is another book review day, and this week I have been reading Paws and Whiskers. And this is a collection of animal-based stories chosen by Jacqueline Wilson, who is a very famous children's author here in England. I grew up reading her books, so she has been around for quite a while, and she probably has written, at last count, 1 million books. She really has. She's written so many books, worth reading, really good books. And she's chosen these dog and cat based stories for this collection. So I'll just read you the blurb and then let you know what I thought. Okay. This special anthology features the very best stories about cats and dogs from the world of children's books, chosen by best-selling author and Battersea Dogs and Cats Home ambassador Jacqueline Wilson. Alongside a brand new story by Jacqueline herself, this beautiful collection includes extracts from treasured classics such as The 101 Dalmatians and The Incredible Journey, modern favourites like The Knife of Never Letting Go and The Diary of a Killer Cat, and specially written pieces from today's best-loved children's writers, including Michael Morpurgo, Mallory Blackman, Philip Pullman, and lots more. From the elegant cat who loves the ballet and the little witch's cat who doesn't want to be bad, to the poodle who needs a haircut and the most famous spotty dogs of all, this is a book to treasure, share and return to time and time again. So this book, it comes from the children's section in the library, not that it matters, because there is some fantastic children's fiction out there. And I like Jacqueline Wilson, and as soon as I saw this on the shelf I thought I have to have it, I have to take it home because, well, I love animals. I think they're so wonderfully crazy and strange. So yeah, as you all know, I'm a dog person. I've got Lily, my little dog. It's not that I dislike cats, but I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. So I was interested to read stories about dogs. Because since having Lily, I've realised just what amazing personalities animals have. Not that I thought that they were just animals, but since having an animal, I realised that they're more. They're so humanistic in their behaviours and the way they do things, and I think that Lily has got just a brilliant personality and such an amazing way about her. And animals just have all these odd, strange ways of doing things, little idiosyncrasies that just make them so different and individual and wonderful things. So yeah, anything about animals I'm happy to read, as long as nothing sad happens to the animals, because I don't like things happening to animals. But yeah, so I thought I'd pick up this book. Jacqueline Wilson for her books has the illustrator Nick Sharratt, who draws these really cute little pictures, and I noticed when I took off the dust jacket of this book how amazingly cute and adorable some of these little animals are. You could just see they're all so different, and they've got their own little smiles and twinkles in their eyes and everything. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I just think that is a brilliant cover. So yes, so this book is divided into 3 sections. The first section contains cat stories, and the last section contains dog stories, and there's a chunk in the middle which I actually really enjoyed reading, and some of the authors had written about their own experiences with owning cats and dogs and various other pets, and I think it's nice to be able to take a little step inside the lives of the authors, because we don't often know a lot about them, and to find out that they've had problems, they've struggled with their pets, they've had naughty pets, they've had well-behaved pets, and before getting a pet, it is so important to realise that it's not going to be lovely. They're not going to be well-behaved all the time. They may chew up your shoes, they may do a little wee-wee on the carpet, or you don't know. They're animals. They've got their instincts. They do what they feel is right to do, even though we may see it as naughty. But they're not always going to be perfect. And although these stories are fiction, it was nice to have little bits of fact and little bits of information that these authors gave away about their own pets and their own kind of home life with these animals. So, like I say, the first part was the cat stories. And I did enjoy the cat stories, but I have to say that I enjoyed the dog stories better. Not for any particular reason other than I'm a dog person and I can see the personalities in those dogs through having Lily. I know that cats have their own personalities, but I've not really experienced that other than going around a friend's house and seeing their cat for a few hours. But living with a dog or living with a cat, you learn about their personalities, and I veered towards the dog stories. There are brand new stories, standalone stories, and a lot of excerpts from other books, which I really enjoyed. So there's a bit from Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. There's a chapter from The 101 Dalmatians, a book that I've never read. The only experience I have of 101 Dalmatians is through the Disney film. And as we know, books and films are never the same. So I found that quite interesting, and that's a book that I will read this year, or next year, 2015. We're only a few days away. Because it's something I've not read, and I like to read the original stories of things. I don't like just thinking that the film is how it should be. Stories from Just William. I grew up reading Just William, which was lovely. An excerpt from The Knife of Never Letting Go, a book that I have started reading. It's one of those young adult novels, a dystopian young adult novel, and as I've said before, that's something that really interests me as well. That I started reading and I never got around to finishing, so that's another one on my to-read list that I will reread just to refresh the story. So there's lots of interesting stories from kind of modern day authors and people that, you know, we read as children and even before then as well. Although, like I say, I preferred the dog section, my favourite story in the whole book is from the cat section, and it is by the author Ian McEwan, an author that I don't really get on very well with. I had to study him while I was doing my A-levels, and I don't know whether or not it's because we read the book to death, but I've never wanted to read anything else he's written. However, the story The Daydreamer is very strange, and I think, you know, I like things that are a bit strange. And it's about a young boy and a cat, and they can take off their own skins, and their soul, I don't know, the bit that makes us us, they swapped over. So the boy went into the cat's skin and the cat went into the boy's skin. And I just found that very creepy and very weird, and possibly not an ideal story for a children's book. But nonetheless, that was my favourite. But most, if not all, the stories are lovely. Dogs rescuing children that have fallen down hills and got themselves caught, and cats being all mischievous, and there's a story about cats with wings, which was quite strange as well. So there's a lot of different things. Even if you're not particularly an animal person, they are quite interesting and quite sweet, and especially if you are a cat or a dog person or both, you've got some really interesting stories. And like I say, there's excerpts from books that I now want to go and read. So that was a really good experience reading these little stories. So I really did like this. Like I said, it's a children's book. It's not difficult, and they're, you know, the chapters are very small because they're excerpts or very short stories. But a lovely little book nonetheless. And yeah, if you are an animal lover, I'd give this a go because it is quite sweet. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And if you are interested in hearing any more of my other book reviews, please subscribe to my channel. I do try to put out new videos every week or after I've read a book, giving my review of it. If you've read anything that I've read and you've either liked it or disliked it, please leave me little comments, because I like to know what other people thought of books. And if you've got any recommendations for me, let me know and I'll see if I can read and review them for you. I also do what I call shameless self-promotion, and I read from my own work and talk about my own books because I'm an author as well. And I give writing advice because I know how difficult it is to actually write, and we all need a little bit of help every now and then. So if you are interested in anything bookish or writerly or anything to do with the world of literature, please subscribe to my channel, and have a good rest of your Christmas, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.